Meet Chef Jonas. He loves food. And when I mean love, I mean obsessed. I mean passion to the very core. I mean, look at how awesome I am at cooking. Dance like no one's watching. Obsessed. For Jonas, being a chef is more than just cooking. It is pure l'amour, personified. He puts in experience, mind and heart in every dish he creates, followed by hearty servings of chest bumping. But at the end of the day, Jonas is all about creating food that makes people happy. And of course, about being a big hit with the ladies.
Now I'm going to show you some tricks of the trade so you can cook like a pro at home. I'll show you how to turn everyday ingredients into gourmet dishes and how you can get out of sticky culinary dilemmas in a flash, all without having to break the bank. So load up on the prep, self-confidence, and awesomeness, and get ready to be the chef of your own kitchen.
All this and more on Chef Next Door with Jonas Ng.
There's nothing like a bad bout with the flu to get you started off on a serious health kick. I've always been conscious of what I put into my body, like not eating junk food and eating fresh. But there's always ways to improve your diet, isn't there? That's why I phoned my friend Chef Jonas, who's an expert in healthy eating. And together, we're gonna show you that clean eats can be inexpensive, flavorful, and easy to prepare. You ready? Let's go.
Grilled fish is a great way to start eating healthier. It's loaded with protein and the good kind of fat. I'm pairing that with a spicy mango herb salsa that packs a flavorful punch without adding too many calories. Chef Jam is a champion of local ingredients, and he's helping me highlight some amazing vegetables from the market. Cucumbers have a lot of flavor and texture, and it's great for the skin and body. One of the few veggies that I consider magical, cauliflower. Roasted in olive oil and butter, and it just takes on a Hogwarts kind of magical flavor. And finally, Dessert Genius has a goal, is helping me with a fantastic vitamin-packed fruity dessert, frozen jackfruit with spicy salt and sugar dip.
A good rule of thumb when shopping for healthier eats is to go to the perimeter of the supermarket. That's where you'll find the produce and the meats. Now, of course, in the middle of the aisles, there's a lot of nutritious food as well. But if in a bind, go straight for the perimeter. Cauliflower is one of my favorite vegetables. And when I'm buying cauliflower, especially in this case when I'm using the florets, I try to buy more florets and less stalk. See if they're heavy so that they're fresher, and minimal amount of blemishes. If you don't have enough time to go to your wet market, go to your grocery. They probably have a nice seafood section waiting for you. And here's the chef's tip. Get to know your fish guy. They probably know what's fresh, and you can ask them to descale and gut it for you. And if you're nice enough, they might even debone it for you. Thank you. One of my favorite proteins is fish. And of course, I live in a country of 7,000 islands. Seafood everywhere. This morning, I went to the wet market and went to a couple of fishmongers, got me some nice live fish. Let me show you. I'm trying to get healthy and all, and this is just a nice mixture of proteins and good fats. And to me, I like my seafood fresh. How do I know it's fresh? The eyes are opaque and black. If they're cloudy, they're not that fresh. They've been dead a while. The flesh is very firm. It bounces back. It's not mushy. And most important thing, and I say use your senses all the time, it smells fresh. Now in this case, I'm gonna fillet it. I bought it live and I asked them to gut it, take out the guts, take out the gills, and then scale it, take away the scales, because that's messy. And then I want the fillets. The bones, I'm gonna put in the freezer, nothing wasted. I'm gonna put in the freezer and save it for fish stock. Now, fish I would normally store below normal chiller temperatures. I would say 0 to 2 degrees Celsius. My fish, I put it at the bottom part of the fridge, which is the coldest. And then I would put a bag of ice on top of it because at least I'll keep it a little bit colder than normal. Now, I'm gonna fillet this baby. I need to make sure that I'm safe with it. I pat it dry so it's not extra slimy and slippery. Sharp knife, tweezers I'll use later. A separate cutting board so that I don't cross-contaminate, and towels to make sure it doesn't slip. Now, just like a mango, you have to feel it out and contour it, and this takes a little bit of practice. This, I will save in the freezer for stock. The bones here, I don't need. So the stomach, I will just take out. Now, I'm gonna make my salsa. In the meantime, this needs to chill out in the fridge. I need to wrap it in plastic wrap so that it doesn't make everything in my fridge smell like fish. Normally, I would pair the fish with nice heavy sauce because fish works well with a really nice rich sauce. Having said that, let's just add some of these beautiful mangoes, shallots, tomatoes, and this is just a nice combination of textures and flavors and colors. Now, with herbs like mint, you wanna try to use the leaves, and this is a peppermint. You don't wanna try to cut it too much because when your cutting board starts turning green, that means all the flavor has transferred to your cutting board. One of my other favorite herbs, cilantro, which I use both the leaves and the stems of. And to give it a kick, paprika, which gives it some smokiness. Cayenne pepper, a nice round spicy smoky flavor. Some fresh small red chilies, pepper, salt to bring everything together, and to round it out and give it that extra level, sesame oil. So this is one of those things where it's a nice combination of textures, colors, flavors, scents, without adding a lot of calories. And because it's me, of course I taste. Love it. That's gonna go perfect with my tilapia. In fact, it will go perfect with any white, firm fleshed fish. In the meantime, I'm finishing taking out the pin bones in my fish. Who wants pin bones in their fish while they're eating, right? And this is a useful tool to have. A nice pair of tweezers. I know normally this is for cosmetic uses, but in the kitchen, depending on the kind of fish, if it's a small enough fish, we'll use facial tweezers. If it's a big fish with big pin bones, we're gonna use pliers. Just be careful not to destroy your whole fish while doing it. And that's heating up. Before I cook it, I am going to score it. Why? Scoring not only will help make it flatter when you're cooking it, it will also help it cook faster. Scoring means just cutting, not the whole way. Instead of pouring a whole lot of oil, which I usually do, I'm just gonna brush it with oil, making sure that it will not stick. And then season, salt and pepper. I wanna cook it real nice, I wanna sear it real nice, but I also wanna finish cooking it in my pan instead of just cooking it in the oven and pan. Too much work. Besides, my fish is just yay thin. Listen to that. That's the sound of nice heat. What you're seeing here is the opaqueness is starting to rise, and the skin is nice and flat because I scored it. And as soon as it rises about halfway up and the translucency is just about halfway, I'm gonna start peeking underneath. And don't worry about it sticking because we put oil, and at the same time, if the proteins on the fish are at the right temperature, if they're heated enough, they will coagulate and they will pull themselves away from the pan. But your pan needs to be nice and hot. And it helps if your pan is non-stick. So it's about halfway up. Look at that beautiful fish. How do I know it's done? I use my senses. I touch it. If it bounces back and it starts to be flaky, then you know it's cooked. If it's still sticking to each other, if the meat is still sticking to each other, then it's still raw inside. But if it's starting to flake like this, then it's cooked. In which case, that beautiful flesh, that beautiful skin, it's grilled, it's crispy, it's gonna go perfect with this spicy, sweet, fragrant mango salsa. Not a lot of calories, but smashing flavors in your face.
When we return, Chef Jamal Chor helped me make the easiest yet most flavorful vegetable dishes. vibrant veggies up ahead on Chef Next Door. For today's recipes and more exciting stuff, please visit our Facebook page, Chef Next Door PH. Oh, and don't forget to like. Grilled fish fillet is done. Just look at all that lean protein and healthy fatty acid. We also brought it to that next level with the bright flavors of our spicy mango herb salsa. I'm feeling healthy already. Or maybe that's because Healthy Eats expert Jam Melchor has just arrived.
So, welcome to the Chef Next Door kitchen, one of the most respected chefs in the country, my good friend, the leader of the Philippine culinary heritage movement and the owner of Healthy Eats, Chef Jam Melchor. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
For having me here.
And thank you for answering my call when I kept asking you about eating healthier. And I've been trying. In fact, I cooked a fish dish and now I'm making a salad. So, while we're making it, I just want to share. I was thinking about this and I was doing my research and I realized that cucumber doesn't have a lot of flavor, but I wanted it to be a salad because it's a lot of texture, not a lot of calories, because there's so much water in it, it actually takes more energy to eat it than it has in its own. Having said that, combining it with some chilies, with sugar, with cilantro and tomatoes makes it a nice dish. I hope you like it. So you're here anyway, might as well help me out. If you could mix these ingredients. I'm gonna mandolin this thing.
Okay.
In the meantime, can you tell me some favorite ingredients that you like using?
Well, lately I've been promoting slow food. And in slow food, we've been using this local ingredients that is available all around the country. For example, we have this batuan. In Iloilo, they use this batuan for
That's a nice souring agent.
Souring agents. And then we have local chilies, labuyo, we have kamyas. We have so much of this heirloom ingredients that we don't normally use nowadays. That in slow food, we try to promote them.
What does it mean when you say heirloom?
Heirloom are these ingredients, particular ingredients that are used in the old times that are still being used nowadays, but very rare, and a few people use them anymore.
What got you started into this?
Ever since we had this restaurant way back in 2009, Le Bistro, we've been exposed to this use of sustainable ingredients, and we've been all around the country to find sources of such cacao, cashews from Palawan, cheeses from Davao. Like, we have already local sun-dried tomatoes from Nueva Ecija. So we've been trying to do a little bit of research about all of these things that we have already here in the country.
Well, you're at the forefront of Filipino heritage cuisine. What's exciting? What's going on?
We have this new movement, it's called Philippine Culinary Heritage Movement, that I've initiated. Well, its goal is to mainstream Filipino cuisine. I'm happy that we've been getting a lot of feedback since after the launch, and we're glad that this December we're going to do the actual food festival.
Well, we played this. You mind giving this a taste for me? Good enough for you? All right, we're gonna do our next dish. So we're making one of my favorite side dishes using one of my favorite vegetables, cauliflower, roasted cauliflower. In the meantime, Jam here, you're gonna line this with foil because we're gonna bake it in the oven, which is preheated at 375, about 190 C. So I just wanna cut my cauliflower to roughly equal thickness of florets. Now, this was my idea of replacing the starch with the vegetable because there's already a lot of starch in it.
Yeah.
There's not much energy I need if I want to be healthy. I have to match my diet with my lifestyle. So I hope I'm doing it right. But this is just simple butter, salt, pepper, and this is all about convection. And convection is when the hot air is circulating and that's how the heat energy is being transferred. This gentle way of heating it and cooking it allows for the inside to steam and the outside to caramelize slowly, developing the flavors beautifully. So we're just gonna wrap these things. Right, so this needs to go back in for about 10 minutes to caramelize. In the meantime, can you tell me about portioning? How do you do it?
Well, basically, It depends. For example, for our clients, we normally ask them their restrictions and their special requirements, their dietary requirements. But if in general you wanted to do your own diet, you have to make sure that in your plate you have all of these components like protein, vegetables, and starch with you so that you'll have a complete and balanced diet.
So they can do it at home if they wanted to.
They can do it at home.
How do they start?
Well, basically you just have to choose your ingredients. You have to choose the best and the most convenient ingredients, the freshest ingredients that you can ever get in your local market.
There you have it. Fresh, and think about it properly. Balance it out. So, cauliflower's done. Look at that. Nice and caramelized.
Wow.
Smell that. Let's taste. Roasting does something to it. It blends the flavors of the butter and the cauliflower and gives it a different flavor profile that I just love.
This is a perfect siding.
Thank you. Are you ready for dessert?
Okay?
I'm gonna call Hasid.
Need more reason to drink lots of liquids? Try infused water. Slice up some cucumbers or some lemon. Immerse in cold water. Let it chill in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Refreshing and healthy. Natural sugars are the bomb. Say yes to dessert even when you're eating clean. The Grand Sweet Healthy Finale is up next on Chef Next Door. For today's recipes and more exciting stuff, please visit our Facebook page, Chef Next Door PH. Oh, and don't forget to like. Our grilled fish fillet gave us lots of lean protein goodness. Our spicy mango herb salsa exploded in 1,000 flavors. And both a cucumber salad and roasted cauliflower added amazing texture to our menu. Talk about a party in your mouth. And if you think healthy eating means no dessert, well, you've got another thing coming. Dessert genius Chef Hasid Go is here to help me with the menu's grand finale. But first, let us take a selfie.
So, ladies and gents, my guest for tonight, a health buff, one of my favorite people in the world, one of the most respected chefs I know, also happens to be one of the most talented in the world. The pastry master himself and my business partner in Le Jardin, Chef Hasid Go. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you for helping me out. I'm trying to be healthier because I'm always, you know me, I'm always all about the flavor, forgetting the calories I'm putting in. My mom started calling me fat. And that's why I had to ask your help and Jam's help to get my diet and my cooking to that other side. I still call it the dark side, but look at you. I mean, you look good. You look like you're in nice spirits. You're in healthy shape. You've gone through your share of health problems, but look at you. So, hopefully, we help each other out tonight.
Okay, I'm excited.
I was talking to my friend Hasid, and I was asking him, you're the dessert expert. You're always the sweets, but since his health scare, he's transferred to different kinds of sugars. Instead of refined sugars, he's encouraged me to eat fructose, which is sugar from fruits. It's a more natural sort of sugar. It's less refined, right? So I was talking to him and we came up with this nice inspired idea because this guy always inspires me, right? In my travels in Thailand, I used to eat fruits from the street and they would serve a nice dip. Most of the streets in Bangkok that I tried, it's usually the same. It's sugar and salt and chili and lime zest, not lime juice because that would make it very sticky. And because the Thais are always about balance, they always try to do it with these same ingredients. Now, I want you to help me because you're here anyway, you're an extra set of hands. Mix some sugar, chili, zest, lemon zest or lime zest, and sea salt while I get our frozen jackfruit. So, this is what my mom used to do. When she'd buy a big jackfruit, there's always leftover. And then she would just place it in the freezer and I'd see her snack on it from time to time. So this is just a nice way of doing the same thing, right? So, frozen jackfruit. Now, one tip here is because it's frozen, if you do wash your jackfruit, I would recommend that you pat it dry very well before you put it in the freezer because when water freezes and you take it out, it's going to be very hard to separate them from each other. That's perfect. So let's just put it in here. And without heavy sauces, without a lot of refined processed sugars, this is an explosion in your mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, with his help, an inspired, healthy, fruity, spicy, sweet dessert. You gotta be the first one to try, right?
Okay.
Dessert expert, what do you think?
Okay. There's like an explosion in your mouth.
Thank you.
Yeah, with all the chili, sweetness, and saltiness. Good.
You got any tips for me? Especially when it comes to dessert, because you know I love my sugar, especially in dessert. You got any tips for me? Any substitutes?
How to make it healthier?
Yeah.
Well, less sugar, less dairy products, like for example, butter, cream. Kasi usually pag desserts, di ba, more on dairy products eh. There you go. As for sugar substitute naman, you can always substitute with the isomalt, cocoa sugar, and stevia.
Because I noticed in recent years, you used to have all these crazy desserts. And through the years, you've slowly veered towards healthier desserts. And you know what? Your creative side is shining through. Thank you for inspiring me. Keep going, man. Keep coming up with the solutions, man.
Does that look bland and tasteless to you? I mean, come on. Like we've said, healthy food does not mean boring food. The proof is in the pudding. It's in the vegetable. No, in the jackfruit. You know what I mean.
So there you have it. Eating healthier is not just all about changing your ingredients and techniques or reducing your portions. The hardest part is changing the way you think about it, because it's not easy to want to eat healthier. But if you do, make sure that you're not skimping on the flavor. And hopefully, the three of us have inspired you to cook and eat healthier. There's nothing like a serious bout with the food to get you dying. So, what do you guys think of the menu that you guys helped me inspire?